Hello, I am here live. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna fix one little thing here so I can see any comments that people have. Hi. Well, welcome to my very first Leadership Dolce. So excited to be here. I am going to be serving up some sweet morsels of wisdom for you tonight and every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I am going to be here serving up my Leadership Dolce. So I wanted to tell you why I am here and why I would be qualified to stand here and talk to you about leadership. Okay, first of all, I am a certified lifestyle and leadership coach. I also am a director with a very large publicly traded company. And I earned my MBA from Penn State University, and I graduated with Beta Gamma Sigma honors, the honor society. So that's some of the reasons, but some of the other reasons, and probably one of the most important reasons, is that I have an appetite for higher knowledge. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for being here. My beautiful, beautiful college roommate is here. Hi, darling. Thank you for showing up and showing leadership. Okay, so so I have a desire for higher knowledge, and I am going to say that what I have experienced in my own professional experience and what I have been hearing from colleagues, what I hear from clients, is that there is a real lack of leadership out there. And I feel that the best way to be able to help professionals who are frustrated, unfulfilled, and stressed out is to empower you all with a mindset and a skill set of a leadership culture. And that is really the most empowering way that we can move forward. So, at first, I was going to spend my very first Leadership Dolce talking about leadership and what it is and why it's so important. But I really decided to table that for another day because I really want to talk about what's going on right now and the new normal that we are living in, trying to get through this pandemic. So I really wanted to address it because it's so timely right now. And I addressed it a little bit. I talked about my new normal yesterday in my Gratitude Sunday post. And I do invite you all to come on Sundays and discuss along with me what you're grateful for, because gratitude is such a great way to take a leadership stance, believe it or not. When we are grateful, we get more of what we are grateful for. Neely, hi honey, I'm so glad you're here. So, like everyone, I am sure, like myself as well, definitely having a challenging time with adjusting to our new normal. Why? Because our ego mind likes routine. It likes to know what is going to happen next, because that is how it keeps us safe. And our ego's job, and I can go into this in more depth on another Leadership Dolce, but its whole purpose is to keep us safe and for us to survive. So when we're living in a world of complete unknown, our ego mind is freaking out a little bit. So we're living in a space of complete and utter unknown, and our mind is very uncomfortable with that. And so within that, it's perfectly fine. And a lot of people I know are experiencing fear. They're experiencing panic, anxiety, anger, rage, sadness. I notice myself sometimes emotions just come out of nowhere because we're trying to function in a normal way in a very abnormal situation. So it's perfectly fine to be able to feel all these feelings, but there are many people that just are not able to handle this situation. So I want to tell everyone that it is possible to tame and train our minds. Anyone can do this. This is really a possibility for everyone. But in order to do this, we have to be willing to take responsibility for our own minds. And that is where leadership comes in, right? Making the decision to take responsibility to master your own mind and not let these emotions that we're feeling just run wild and take off so that we have no control over our mind. So like I said, this is where leadership comes in, because these are the people that we look up to, right? People that are able to master their mind and be able to stay calm in panic situations. They're people that make us feel calm. They're managers who want people like this on their teams, right? We all want someone on our team who's going to lift us up and make us feel secure. So I'm going to give you one small thing that you can do today to begin to master your mind. So what I did for myself was to establish a routine for my new normal, right? I wanted to come up with a new routine for my new normal so that I could keep my own ego mind in check. Hi, Mary Jo, welcome. So the reason I did that is so that I could feel a sense of calm, and you will feel a sense of calm once you start to establish a new routine. So for me, going to the gym and taking yoga and Pilates and bar class and dance class, it was a very big part of my week, and it is how I stayed grounded. So when the gyms closed down, I was literally devastated. I got a notice on my app from my gym that they were closing, and I literally broke down crying. And I shocked myself. I didn't even expect to feel such strong emotions around it, but I was so dependent on having this at my beck and call to make me feel like sane and grounded that I thought, well, what am I going to do? Like, how will I be able to stay grounded without this source that I turn to, 3-4 times a week? So what I did over the past couple of weeks, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, it kind of evolved, was I created a new normal. So I made a commitment to myself. On the days where the weather is permitting, I will walk at least 5 miles a day after I get done with my work day. And additionally, I have found yoga and meditation classes that are live online, and they're with some of my favorite yoga teachers that I was already taking classes with. So this feels very familiar to me, right? And so this makes me feel comfortable, and this is able to get my mind back into a bit of normalcy. So I made a commitment to also do yoga a minimum of 3 times a week. So while the ultimate goal, and we can get more into this in other weeks, but the ultimate goal is really for us to be comfortable with the unknown. And that is like a very big journey. That is not easy for anyone to just be comfortable with the unknown. But that is the ultimate goal if you want to have peace of mind and you really want to be a very strong leader. I mean, think about presidents and all the unknowns that they're dealing with from time to time. So that helps you to become a very strong leader, but also, like I said, give us the ultimate inner peace. However, I do know that routine helps me to be able to adjust to the other unknowns that are going on around me right now. And there's a lot of unknowns going on around me right now. So we can't expect to implement everything all at once. Because quite honestly, if we tried to do that, our minds would literally explode. So we can, though, take it one step at a time, right? We can take one step at a time. So, what I'm encouraging you to do this week is to set a new routine for yourself. And anybody can do that, even if you have children, or if you have a really stressful job, or especially if you're unemployed right now. That is the important time to create a routine for yourself. So I would encourage you to think about what it is that you can do to create a new routine and this new normal for yourself. And I really wanted to also touch upon if you manage a team. So I would encourage the people on your team to also set up their own work routines. And maybe perhaps you put an extra conference call on their calendar each week so that people can really start to organize their days. You can do that along with them and ask them what kind of projects they have on deck and which ones do they think take priority over others, and really help them to establish a sense of normalcy, actually. So I have a weekly team meeting with my team. We always did. But during these times, I find that I'm putting group team meetings on the calendar about 2 to 3 times a week more often. And the team really likes to check in, and I have a lot more one-on-one calls with them because it makes them feel engaged, and it makes them feel safe. Like they know that they can call me, and I'm going to be there to support them without judgment. And I think that's the most important thing. I don't micromanage them. I trust them to get their work done, but I'm here to support them so that we can all create a routine together. And that's worked really, really well. And I also realized that there are a lot of people out there today who are currently out of work. And the flip side of that is that we currently have some really big gaps of opportunity in the workforce as well. So I'll give you an example. There is a tremendous need for drivers and delivery personnel right now. And while that might not be in your wheelhouse, what I want to ask everyone actually who's unemployed right now, would you consider making a temporary pivot in your career for a short amount of time? In addition to delivery personnel, on a much bigger scale, according to Glassdoor, I did a little research before the call, the top 5 roles with the most coronavirus related openings include registered nurses, which is probably not coming as much of a surprise, but the ones that were surprising to me were communications associates, social workers, project managers, and technicians. So if you have any of these skills and you're willing to make a temporary pivot while we're in these uncertain times, it might be really amazing what you discover. So in conclusion, I just want to say that I am grateful for the new normal. I've discovered some really interesting things about myself. I've had time to look inside and reflect, and I've had time to be able to feel all these feelings that are coming up and then use it as an opportunity to say, okay, what do I need to do to be able to master my mind in this moment? And that doesn't mean push it away, but it just means to recognize it and say, okay, how can I show up as a leader, even a leader for myself? How do I show up as a leader in this moment? So I'm going to ask you, how are you going to create your new normal for today, for you, and for possibly your teams? And so I wanted to open it up for any questions or comments or thoughts that you might have. And while you guys might be typing in your questions, I just want to say, like, remember to post any questions to me about challenges or topics that you'd like me to cover. And then also, if you prefer to remain anonymous, because I know that professional work situations can be very, that you want to keep them confidential. So you can just email me at Joanne at newbornevolution.com, and I promise I will keep your name anonymous, but I will get in to be able to answer your question so that you can feel more comfortable around whatever it is that might be arising for you. So if there are no questions, because I don't see any coming up, I want to thank everybody that showed up. Thanks, Mary Jo and Neely and Lisa. And I hope you enjoyed my Leadership Dolce. And I want to send love to all of you and to my beautiful Italia, who is suffering a little bit like us right now. Sending them love as well. And I will see you guys next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great night. Ciao. I have my Dolce here. Ciao.